You ever have one of those days so exhausted you don't even feel like, well, you anymore? Yeah, there's a poem that just nails that feeling. Today we're going to dive into Homecoming by R. Parthasarthy. And as we do, we're going to see exactly how a critical appraisal can unlock this whole hidden world of meaning packed into just a few short lines. So the poem just throws this at you, right out of the gate. I am no longer myself. Whoa. I mean, it just stops you in your tracks, right? You have to ask, what's going on here? What could make someone feel so disconnected from their own identity? This one line? That's our way in.
Okay, so before we go any deeper into the poem itself, we've got to talk about the guy who wrote it. To really get what he's saying, you need to know where he's coming from. So who was our Parthasarthy? Because believe me, an author's life, it's often the key to everything.
So take a look at this. You can see right away, Parthasarthy's life was basically split in two. He was born in India, deeply rooted in his Tamil heritage. But then he goes and studies in England, gets this very prestigious English education. He even famously said it felt like his tongue was in English chains. That's intense. And this conflict, this feeling of being torn between two cultures, that's absolutely crucial. We have to keep that in mind as we read.
All right, so now that we've got that context, let's dive back into the poem. And the best way to start, with any poem really, is to just forget all the deep symbolic stuff for a second. Let's just ask a simple question. What's actually happening? What's the scene?
And it's a scene we all know, right? The commute home. But look at how he describes it. Through his eyes, everything's blurry, warped by just sheer exhaustion. The traffic becomes a pair of obese headlights. I mean, you can feel that, can't you? That heavy end of a long day feeling where everything is just too much. And this is where things get really clever. See, his internal burnout, that feeling of being completely spent, he's projecting it onto the outside world. The traffic isn't just traffic anymore. It's obese, it's clumsy, heavy, suffocating. He's not just telling us what he sees, he's showing us how he feels. It's a total state of mind. So that little trick, turning an inner feeling into an outer image, that brings us to the heart of what makes poetry so powerful, the language. I mean, poets are like surgeons with words, right? They pick each one so carefully to make an emotion feel, well, real, tangible. So let's look at the specific tools he's using here. Okay, get ready for this next line. It's just so good. He says his face is pressed against the window of expectation. Think about that for a second. A window of expectation? What on earth is that?
Well, that, my friends, is a metaphor. A brilliant one. He's taken this abstract feeling, expectation, and made it into a solid thing, a pane of glass. It's like he can see what he wants, he can press his face right up against it, but he can't break through. His own hopes have literally become the barrier that's trapping him. Wow.
So then he gets to his door, trips on the mat, of course, and then we get this other amazing little image. He says, "The key goes to sleep in my palm." I love that. Even the key is just done. And there's a name for that trick, giving an object a human quality. It's called personification. And it's kind of funny, right? But it's also so effective. It just shows how completely and totally wiped out he is. His exhaustion is so deep, it's like it's contagious. It's spreading to the inanimate objects around him. And then we get to the real heart of the problem. He says, "I fear I have bungled again. That last refinement of speech terrifies me." And boom, just like that, we realize this isn't just about a long day at the office. This is creative exhaustion. This is the fear of failure, the terror of not being able to get the words perfect. This is about his art. So right there, that's the central conflict of the whole poem. It's this massive battle raging inside him. On one side, you've got this huge, lofty ambition to create perfect art. And on the other, just the simple, grinding reality of being a person in the world. And he gives us this incredible image for it. The balloon of poetry has grown red in the face with repeated blowing. Can't you just see that? It's not this light, beautiful thing anymore. It's the strained, ugly, overinflated thing that's about to burst. All the joy is gone. It's just pure effort. And this is the choice he ends up making. Look at this breakdown. You've got poetry on one side. It's straining, it's terrifying, it's this massive ambition. And he basically says, nope, I'm done with that. And what does he choose instead? The newspaper. I mean, think about it. It's simple. It's reliable. It gives you these small, everyday comforts. He is actively choosing simple reality over painful, grand art.
So, okay, he's made his choice. Where does that leave him? Well, it leads us to the end of the poem, this really quiet, thoughtful resolution. This is the big takeaway. After all that struggle, all that straining, he finally finds some peace. But it's not like this big heroic victory, you know? It's much quieter. It's acceptance. He's letting go of the need for perfection. He's saying, from now on, I think I'll be okay with not having all the grand answers, but just the little uncertainties.
And that final metaphor, the small change of uncertainties, isn't that just perfect? It's like he's saying, I'm not trying to win the lottery anymore. I'm just happy with the loose change in my pocket. He's trading this giant, impossible dream for something small, real, and manageable. It's a huge shift from that high-strung ambition to just being okay.
So, if you look back, we just walked through a whole process together, right? We started with the poet himself, the context. Then we looked at what was literally happening in the poem. We decoded his metaphors and other language tricks. That led us to the big themes. And finally, we landed on this universal takeaway. And that, right there, that's how you critically appraise pretty much any piece of art.
Which kind of leaves us with a question, doesn't it? The speaker found his comfort in something simple, like a newspaper, in the small change of everyday life. So it makes you think. When our own big plants, our own ambitious balloons feel like they're about to pop, where do we go to find comfort? What are our simple, humble newspapers?